How much does the name of a brand actually matter? And I'm not talking about name recognition or brand recognition. I'm talking about the actual name of a brand. Today, we're taking a look at a watch with a very weird brand name. However, the watch is actually very nice. It's really well made. It has an automatic movement that is a GMT, and it gets a world time function. All of this for well under $250. So this is a very well spec'd watch with a weird name that doesn't cost a lot of money. We'll talk about the name in the video, but let's flip the camera and take a look at a very affordable world timer with great lume, by the way. However, it has a weird name. And here's the watch, and I have to say, it is a good-looking world timer. It's nicely proportioned on the larger side, but I do think this is a very good-looking watch. It's an homage, so it's a very loose homage to an Angelus, the chrono date, and this is not a chronograph, this is a world time. However, the case is really an homage to that watch. It is pretty much one for one. You get the skeletonized lugs, that center portion of the case as well. So it is pretty much an homage to that watch. With that being said, it is very expensive and I think, like I said, very good looking. This is $239. It's an automatic world time with pretty decent lume. We will do a lume shot towards the end. And it's coming in a pretty nice package. You're getting an NH34 sapphire crystal stainless steel case. It's a GMT and you're getting 50 meters of water resistance. For $239, that is a very good price. This is a 43 millimeter watch. I measured like 42.8 millimeters. That's not including the crown guards, and they are sort of floating crown guards, for lack of a better term, because they are skeletonized. So it does wear a little bit bigger. So it wears like a 43.5 millimeter or 43 millimeter watch. It's around 12.7 millimeters thick. That's including the sapphire crystal on the front. And I believe on the back is a mineral crystal. You get a 50.8 millimeter lug to lug, and that is pretty long, but this is a pretty large watch, so it kind of makes sense. But those lugs do turn down pretty well, so this will wear pretty comfortably on most wrists, especially a wrist of my size. You get a very beautiful dial on here. There is a map at the center portion. So that 24-hour track is connected to the GMT hand, and when you want to select a city, you just set it by the 24-hour scale. You also get lume on here. The hands are lumed. I believe the indices are lumed, and also part of that map is lumed, so we will do a lume shot towards the end. You do have a color matched crown, so the crown on here is blue or partially blue. It's 7.8 millimeters, so a very large crown. White strap, which is a textile strap and has a rubber lining, and you get to see that NH34 from the back. You have a screwed-in case back. I don't know if those screws are real, although they are all facing in different directions, except on this side they're kind of similar, but I believe those are real screws and they are holding in the screwed-in case back. On my wrist today I have an Angelus, so this is a different watch from the one that this one is homaging. This is the U50 Tourbillon, but kind of similar. This was an early version of the case that they are homaging here today with this watch. You could see when I take off this watch, on the side of the watch, you can see there is skeletonized portions of the lugs. On the chrono date, you're getting a skeletonized case as well. So the case is pretty much skeletonized. So it's a little bit different from this watch, but very, very similar look on this watch to that chrono date. And there is the Wish Do It on my 7.5 inch wrist. This is a 43 millimeter watch, is basically what it is. And you have a 12.7 millimeter thickness. Not that thick, actually wears very comfortably. The case looks very intricate. It's a good looking watch. Everything about it looks good. And you have a lug to lug of around 50.8 millimeters. That does not bother my 7.5 inch wrist. Actually wears very comfortably. I can't go through this whole video without addressing the name of the brand, Wish Do It. It is a very weird name. It's very hard to, I don't know, it's not hard to say, but if someone asks you what kind of watch do you have on your wrist, that's a really good looking watch. What are you wearing? I'm wearing a Wish Do It. It's a sentence, and I get the meaning behind it. They should consider changing the name of the brand or moving to maybe using an acronym like WDI, although that is already used by Walt Disney Imagineering, I think. But either way, they should consider doing something to change the name, use a logo, rather than putting Wish Do It on the dial. That's just my opinion, and something that I think is probably this watch's biggest problem. But with that being said, I think it's a very good looking watch for a very good price, and it's pretty nicely made for that price with sapphire crystal and a Seiko movement inside. So pretty cool for that price. Well, there you go. Lume is really nice on this watch. You have Lume on the seconds hand, you have Lume on the minutes and hours hand. However, it gets lost a little bit because you do have that fully loomed map in the background. That map is sort of a sandwich portion, so that's sitting below the dial. There is an area above the dial that is clear. I would assume that that is plastic, not sapphire at this price point, but who knows? And you also have all the indices which are applied, and those are loomed. Very nice for $239. Usually I think they are charging $499, I want to say, on their website. Right now you can get 40% off on their website. Definitely take advantage of that if you are interested in this watch. It's a very good looking, very affordable world timer that has obviously pretty decent lume as well. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. The only thing I would say that is wrong with this watch is the name, and there's really not much they can do about that. Other than that, I think it's a nice watch for the price. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. I'll catch you guys in the next video.